Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. I am your host, Medusa Asadam, here to give Earth signs a general reading for this week. Keep in mind, Earth signs, this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. And also, this reading will be timeless. I will be pulling energies from the past, present, and future, so just take it however it resonates, only if it resonates. Earth signs, if you're interested to see what the cards have in store for you this week, then definitely stay tuned. All right, Earth signs. So that is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. We're going to start off by pulling the external energies that may be affecting you by ways of people, places, or things. Situationships, relationships, partnerships, soloships, and although throughout the reading I may pull a particular zodiac sign and may represent you, person of interest, timeline, or influence. So do check your houses if you're into that sort of thing. Make sure you read the description of the episode so you know everything you need to know. And oh, sorry. I kind of blanked out right there. Disclaimer, I'm just a regular person who loves to pull cards and interpret it to the best of my ability, so don't ever feel obligated to listen to anything I say. Do your own research, okay? With all that being said, let's get started with the Voodoo Tarot cards. All right, so let's see here. All right, so we have some mother energy coming through, overprotectiveness here, wanting to create a safe haven, okay, because there's a desire to nurture, okay, something, someone, someplace, somehow, some way, someday. We also have here a readiness energy, okay, there's this longing to experience shattered dreams, okay? We have Hierophant energy coming through, Taurus energy, okay? So it's about self-mastery, okay? Recognizing of one purpose and knowing thyself, okay? Through a series of teachings for some. All right, and then we close this out with a card of kindness, beauty, feeling gracious, being romantic, being dreamy, as well as being dreamy and sweet. So, okay, great. This looks pretty cool. I feel like this is definitely along the lines of healing for sure. What really sticks out is just this feeling of shattered dreams. And inhaling from that and overcoming that, and then moving forward with wanting to like create a new kind of way of thinking in regards to life, embarking on in life and all that stuff like that, right? So it's like, say, for instance, a person wanted to be an artist and that didn't work out the way that they imagined or wanted, or maybe they were told. It's this realization of having to kind of like acknowledge that and go through a series of healing events and moving on with one's life, right? Like it really feels like that. All right, let's see here. Let's get some archetypes. Let's get some archetype cards. We could do two. Let's do two. All right, so we have here gossip in the reverse. So the shadow attribute, okay, it says thieves on the power of the passing on private or secret information. So thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Whoa. Okay, then we have here mediator in the upright. So it says here gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. Okay. So you may hear some noise in the background. I do have the fan on and my kids are watching Power Rangers. It's the daytime, so that's what it happens. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't distract you. All right, so I feel like with this gossip energy, there really needs to be, like, it really comes across as, it could be jealousy, it could be butthurt feelings, it could be just in regards to, like, projecting. Like, it's like projecting what a person, like, feels inside. Like, it's like they're projecting that onto their reality by ways of how they act, how they speak to people, how they deal with themselves, how they deal with other people. It's kind of like when people get to that point where they feel like things in life are unfair. And so it's the understanding here of understanding like why that concept of unfairness, like what it is, what is that, what does that mean? And I get it, like what I'm feeling, like it's understandable. It's understandable because it's like there is some, like, it's like emotions involved, emotions invested in a situation. How is it that this person gets to do X, Y, and Z, and then here I am, and then it's like I wasn't granted access to that? But that's because oftentimes we don't necessarily really truly know who we are and what it is that we want for ourselves truly and honestly. Oftentimes we get caught up in the whirlwind of what we shouldn't, could type, like shoulda, woulda, coulda type energy, like those things, like what we could be. We look at other people on the other side, right? And compare and contrast. We weigh ourselves against our peers. And that's in a lot of ways hurting ourselves. We're comparing our past to what's to be expected in the present. Those expectations aren't met. So things are just not fair. We have external entities by ways of other human beings, corporations, those kinds of things, that instill these kind of propaganda like slogans and programs and chants and mind control type thing, where it's like, oh, you're supposed to, like, you're supposed to be in this group, right? Like factions and stuff like that. You belong in this faction, and according to this faction, this is what you do. There's like demands as well. Like this is what this is what's being demanded of you. And when we don't know ourselves enough, we allow others to tell us who we are, what we're capable of, what we can and cannot do, what we should or shouldn't do. This Hierophant here is very, very, very much in that space of really just being present with oneself, aware of oneself, conscious of oneself, spiritually in tune with oneself. And it's directly affecting, in order to directly affect and impact a person's, personal life on this physical earth plane, okay? Before I came here, I was doing my bhakti yoga, and I was thinking a little bit about earth signs reading for today, and I had got some air energy coming through for some of you. And so it could be having to articulate what it is, right? Communicate, what it is that a person wants. And it's just plain and simple, as if you were to talk about it to like a kindergartner or explain it to a kindergartner. There's no need for fancy talk here. It's about being honest with oneself. With this mediator, it's giving me very much along the lines of personal wise. It could be external. It could be, dealing with like, oneself, an external person, two external persons with, someone personally in the middle. But I feel like it's very much along the lines of oneself for some people. And there is a battle between what should be the standards of judgment as opposed to what should be it kind of feels more it feels more baby, like the word primal came to mind in regards to like what it is that a person is like battling. And the only example I can kind of come across right now as I speak, and hopefully more comes through when we do the tarot, is this energy of a person, for example, can be wanting this desire or immediate desire to generate vast amounts of income, right? But then there's a part of a person that doesn't want to so-called, quote unquote, sell their soul in order to do that. Now, before you freak out when I'm talking about selling your soul, it's like I'm not talking about along the lines of what, they say in the industry and all that stuff like that. I have no idea what that even means. I've never encountered or seen firsthand, so I couldn't even tell you. But what that defines, how I define it in this time, in this particular reading, is giving up oneself, is giving up one's true path, is giving up one's true purpose in order to live according to what the matrix or society is demanding of a person. So if a person, we'll just make it more human, right? It's like a person wants to go to school for, I don't know, technology, but their parents or whoever who has highly influenced a person is saying, no, like I've invested so much money on you becoming a lawyer, so this is what you're going to do. I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to help with any of the bills or anything like that. You're not going to have my support if you go a different route. And so it's that pressure. What should I do? Should I I don't want to be condemned. I don't want to be shunned from my family. Like, I need the help. I need the support. What should I do? But the Hierophant is very much along the lines of really just getting to know oneself, but also to getting to trust oneself and trusting in a person's purpose and their destiny unfolding and everything being okay in the end. It's not about how you get there. It's the fact that you get there. That's the important part. One of the things that I've been struggling with lately, I said to myself, you know what? I understand the pressure that is surrounding me. I understand that there are certain things that I put on myself that makes my life hard for me. Ever since I started this podcast, I said to myself, I wanted this to be what I wanted it to be. I just wanted to do my podcast. I wanted to pull my cards. I wanted to read, do my readings. I wanted to be able to offer up this way of helping and learning and growing in this way, shape, or form. I wanted to do it like this. And then periodically there has been times where I felt like this is just not enough. This is not enough. Am I helping anybody? Am I doing anything? Is this even a thing for me? Is this meant for me? I've doubted myself sometimes, many a times actually. And there were times where I was just like, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should do something else. I started to get back into YouTube, tried to force myself to read more books, get back into reading, invest in my channel. It just wasn't like, I just couldn't get with the program anymore. Because I became aware of so many things about myself that I just knew that this isn't what I really truly wanted. This was me being inauthentic to myself. This is me being untrue to myself. But it was just like, but this is here. This seems promising. This seems like this can bring about actual tangibles. And then you have like people who are on YouTube, and then they have really great things to say as far as like, stick on the journey. You can do it. Just keep posting. Stay consistent. Things are going to work out. This, that, and the third. And I've been doing YouTube, or trying to do YouTube, for years. When I tell you years, I'm talking years. And it was just like I just couldn't stick with it. I would delete my channel, do it again, delete my channel, do it again. But there was just something inside of me that just, like, I just couldn't do it. Aside from the fact that things weren't working out and weren't quote unquote successful in my eyes, that, and the fact that I would give up and just, but there was also something, there was a part of me that just was trying really, really hard to convince myself that I could do it. And so every time it's like, I can do it. I'll just do it again. I'll just do it again. I'll just keep trying. And sometimes in our lives, we want to keep trying to make things work, and it's just not working. What does that say? What, do we have to just keep trying again? And maybe for the 20th time, this will work? Maybe, sure. Okay. But it got to the point where YouTube had became emotionally damaging to me. It got to the point where I wanted to try new things. I wanted to do new things, and people just were not vibing with it. They had every right to unsubscribe, but it affected me in so many ways. I saw why. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. And so after many years of going back and forth, I finally said, you know what? I'm done. I'm just going to trust that what I initially said of me doing my podcast, I'm just going to trust that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. Every time I do my podcast, I enjoy myself. I have such a great time. I'm helping people. I have family and friends that listen to, they listen to me. And when I picked up these tarot cards, it really came natural to me. with the YouTube videos, I felt like I was being something that I wasn't. I was trying to be something that I wasn't in order to bring people in to accept me. And I was never the type of person that ever felt comfortable doing that. But I felt like with this whole YouTube thing, it was really just making me question whether or not I'm an attractable person, whether or not I'm a likable person. And it was just like, it's like I don't want to keep doing that. Like, if anything, it's just making things worse, like in regards to like just how I feel about myself. And this is not for everybody. This is just me personally, you know? And so I finally let it go. But recently, that feeling came about again, where it was just like, well, maybe we can give it one more try. Just give it one more try. Maybe, and this time we're not going to care about what people think. We're just going to post just to post. And it's like, we got to start asking ourselves, where is this coming from? This is coming from the root of the issue, which is having to deal with shattered dreams. There was a time in my life where I really wanted YouTube to be that thing for me. That was, it even got personal to the point where it's just like, this is how I want to help people and all that stuff like that. And when that didn't come into fruition, it took a toll on me, and it took a hit on me. And not even just that, because it's not like I was doing this on my own. Like, I had my partner who was supporting me and really just wanting me to do it. And I convinced him that this was going to be the thing for me. And I bet big on it. I was like, if I do this, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to be, nicer. Life would be amazing and all that stuff like that. And then when that didn't happen, that feeling of it wasn't just like things shattering, that dream shattering, that fantasy shattering, but it was also too having to deal with the embarrassment of things not working out, and all the promises that I had convinced myself and those who were interested in seeing how things would go. Like, it was like, what do I say now? What do I do now? And so really, it's about when a person falls, is learning how to get back up and being okay with falling. It's just like with relationships too. A person can really become so invested in a relationship to the point where they imagine marrying that person and being with that person forever, and then it just doesn't work out. And then it's like all hope is gone. And so what this is talking about really, it's just very much along the lines of picking yourself back up again. And not making yourself stoop so low, or allowing these situations to carry you so low that you start to participate in these kinds of behavior, right? We had gossip here in the reverse. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. We don't have to engage in these kinds of things. We need to start being more considerate of our feelings, of others' feelings, and honoring the act of trust in ourselves and in others. So let's get into the tarot. I'm talking a little slow here today Because I'm just like in a daze, I'm just in a daze. But we start off here with the Four of Swords here, Queen of Swords. Okay? And it really comes across here where like a person, it like what's being required of a person is to really humble themselves, receive humility at this time, and before speaking out and saying anything, okay, with that energy of the Queen of Swords, aka Gemini energy, it's this energy of being quiet. Being quiet. And sometimes it's hard to do, right? Sometimes it's hard to do. But there's a part of a person that is asking, like, before you say anything, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Whether this is an external person or someone saying, like, this is, like, internally or whatever. Okay, we have Two of Chalices. This could be in regards to a relationship here. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Eight of Chalices. Okay. This is really feeling as if things are moving slowly right now, but like it's like when it comes down to the physical, it feels really slow, but inside, like, it really feels like it's blooming, it's blossoming, things are going well, energy is well. But more so on the physical, it really feels like, okay, I'm not really sure, like, what's right for us. I'm not really sure what's right for me. I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do. What does this even mean? And so before a person says anything like, you know what, I quit, I'm going back to such and such, or I quit, I'm going to, I'm calling this off. Just take the time to really get into that mode of just dealing with oneself, right? Before speaking out or speaking up or saying something. Like, it really feels like that. The challenge here, Knight of Swords. Okay, this is the energy I'm feeling here. It's the energy in regards to a particular person. So this is dealing with a person who is being faced or being met with wanting to say something, right? Because they are judging a situation, okay, based off of things that didn't go well for them in the past, or what's going on currently, and they're allowing that kind of butthurt feelings to say something that they might end up regretting due to misconstruing or misunderstanding or miscalculating or something like that in regards to what might be perceived that's happening on the surface in contrast to what's going on internally. The challenge here is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, okay, it's this energy of not being able to deal with whatever challenges that might come about. There's this feeling of not feeling ready, not feeling prepared, not feeling equipped. And oftentimes we get to that point in our lives when something major is about to happen, but we just can't see it, smell it, taste it, or touch it. It's being received and perceived beyond our five senses. But something is there. Something is there, and it requires a person to have to participate in a way that makes a person a little bit uncomfortable. A little bit uncomfortable. It's requiring some kind of participation that a person is just, maybe it's like, okay, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this. So they can have that fight or flight kind of like energy that, running through their veins or type thing. So it's like, I don't really know. Okay. And so with the Sun here, it comes across two ways. It's this energy of wanting to handle the challenge from that space of not being their true selves, not like it kind of feels like putting on a brave face, like a face in order to deal with that. And that's what I feel with the sun Leo energy here coming through. It's what's also being what also comes through, it's a temporary kind of boost. It's a temporary kind of boost type thing that I'm feeling here. Like it feels like a energy drink or energy pill or whatever, right? Some kind of something to, like a performance enhancement or something like that, right? That a person decides like, this is what I'm gonna use, right? But it really feels like it's temporary. It feels like it's there and then it's like a spike. It goes up and then it just immediately goes down, kind of thing. And then it's the energy here where it's like if a person doesn't understand something, right? They'll go try and find the answers themselves. Right? So if a person is having to feel through the dark, the first thing they want to do is just kind of like look for the light switch. And if the light switch they can't feel it, then they start to panic. Like it really feels like that. Okay, let's see here. We have death here coming through, so Scorpio energy. All right. 3 of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. All right. Page of Chalices. Pisces energy. So what's happening here, that darkness that I'm seeing is that energy of death. And a person doesn't understand what that concept of death means in this particular scenario. When things are over, when time is up, for whatever kind of reason, it's over. And so a person could be going through a death phase in a sense that their world is shifting. Their reality is shifting to usher in something completely new. It's the beginning of it. So it's very pure. It's very pure. And depending on how a person is able to enter into this new shift, they can really utilize this. They can really access some things that can definitely help them out. But also, too, with this 3 of Pentacles, it really feels like with this shift, a person is going to be looking for a person to want to help them get through that phase. And with this King of Pentacles, Taurus energy, for me, it's the ultimate know thyself card for me. It's this energy of looking towards an external source in order to find this new beginning type thing. So it's kind of like when Leroy didn't understand that his classes with that master at the time was over. He passed the class, and the fact that it was done, he took it in a negative way. He thought he did something wrong, so he was not ready to exit that phase. And so that master sent him on a quest because he wasn't ready to break out of that reality that he created, where he thought he was a Bruce Lee archetype. Like he was the only person dressed in that particular attire in the area that he was. The way he spoke, it was as if he was in like some kind of kung fu movie. The way he acted, it was completely different than the actual reality that he was living in. So he was living in his own fantasy world. And what that master was saying, or what that represented, was that time in his life was over. And when it comes out to, particular times in our lives that are over, we don't want to let it go. I don't want to leave. I'm not ready. I don't want to move out of my parents' place. I don't want to move out of this apartment. I don't want to get my own house. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this job. I'm not ready to participate in the real world. But before we act out of fear and say anything, right? It's this energy of just relax. Before you say anything, relax. Relax. And understand that with this Two of Chalices, right? Whether this is an external person, right? Or just oneself, understanding that you're not alone. You're not in this alone. On the surface, it might feel as if it's all about figuring things out, trying to understand things. A person's not sure. They may feel like they're not ready. But trust and believe when it comes down to the internal universe and the external universe, right? By ways of connecting to our higher selves, universe, God, spirit, ancestors, whatever it is that you believe in, that there is so much abundance of love and protection and all the amenities that is necessary and needed in order to fulfill a person's particular journey. We just have to trust. And if we feel like seeing is believing, maybe getting more so down to the science of feeling and feeling, right? Like feeling that one is truly connected to God, universe, spirit, ancestors, higher self, as they should be. And that is what that know thyself is as well. As long as you understand that you're doing everything that you're doing in every waking moment, that is a reflection of who you are, who you truly are, and what you truly represent, you are on your path. A person should be more so concerned about when they're not being a great representation of themselves. That should be like, okay, this is a red flag here. I'm veering off course here. Even when we're not in our quote unquote greatest light, because we all embody light and shadow aspects, masculine, feminine energies within ourselves. As long as it is a representation of who we truly are and how we truly feel, it's fine. You're fine. And so this is the energy that I'm getting here. Page of Chalices, like I said, Pisces energy. It's really about opening up to the realm of possibilities, of anything is possible type stuff. And really just allowing one's imagination to unfold and unravel and create and paint a new picture that a person truly wants to replicate in this physical reality. Now, I know when I said death, it feels like, okay, well, this, whatever it is that I'm going through right now, it's over, right? And I know, like I mentioned about the YouTube thing and completely being done with it and all that stuff like that. Like, I know it kind of comes across as me saying, like, okay, this person should end it with, like, if it's a relationship, I should end it with that person. If it's a job, I should quit, or whatever the case may be. That is up for you. If you are opening up and you're trying to imagine a reality that you truly want to, that you feel like this is a representation of who I truly am, and this is a true projection of what's coming from my heart space, which is that pure space of love, okay? If that aligns, okay? If whatever it is you're doing, if it aligns, and it's a part of that projection, if it's a part of what you imagine, then this is not what this is. If it can't even like join paths, then maybe this isn't it. Maybe that isn't it. Okay? And let's just be honest here. Because there was a time where I was like heavy into like fantasizing and imagining what it is that I wanted for my future. And I deliberately didn't want my partner to be a part of that based off of the simple fact that we were going through a divorce. And I was butthurt because I was coming from a place of feeling betrayed. And so I deliberately excluded him from that. But when I break it down to my core truths, I know I love that man. And I know I want to be with him and spend as long as we can together. And so that's also too getting in that space of breaking past that overprotective, that need to overprotect yourself from hurt feelings. Because in a lot of ways, it can block a person from being able to just authentically and truthfully express themselves. So let's get into the past. Let's see here. In the past, we have the Empress energy. So Taurus. No. What the heck? Yeah, Taurus, Libra energy, Venus energy, energy of love. We have here Wheel of Fortune in the universe. I mean, in the in the reverse. So the Empress energy here, it really comes across as this is really interesting. It really feels like two powerful forces here, but there is something that kind of interferes here. There's something that kind of interferes. This Wheel of Fortune here in the reverse, it really feels like some kind of entanglement of some sort. Okay, so we are back, ready to get the advice from Spirit. All right, so let's see. So Earth energy. There's Taurus, Libra. No, what the heck? See, look at that air coming through. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So we have here the dead end. And then we have here the creator. Okay, yes, this is cool. So we are talking about that. Things coming to an end. Okay. And then we have the creator here. So I feel like, because we were talking about before we say anything, let's hold off on something. Let's wait. Let's reflect on it. Let's think on it, or whatever. And so I feel like this is really just about taking some time off to really just kind of like get into that space of really just trying to figure out what it is that a person really truly wants to do. So it's like getting past those hurt feelings and all that stuff like that, and really getting down to the nitty gritty truth. All right, so I got to find the page 105. So I hope everyone is doing well here. Okay. So we have here the creator, the artist, the alchemist, the innovator. It says the creator, the first archetype in the trio of existence, is not intimidated by darkness or by lack. They know that from the void, creation inevitably emerges. With merger, minimal, and outlandish materials, the creator reveals a new image. They make the empty room resonate with healing sounds. They generate bounty from the sea that others tossed away. Though generative, this archetype annihilates preconceived notions of what is possible, leaving unexpected openings in the wake of its destruction. The creator does this by first being absolutely present to what is, not imagining or wishing they were different, or second, trusting that a force greater than themselves awaits constant collaboration with each human soul. Whether we call it nature, God, goddess, Shakti, or divinity, it remains nameless. It is the creator's lifelong companion. All right, so yeah, we were talking about that, right? So it says here, when in light, it's curious, it's playful, it's open, and it's surprising. When in dark, it loses spark, it feels burdened. Okay, in order to go deeper, it says Vincent van Gogh's letter to his brother Theo. Or I guess you got to read the letters. I don't know. It says here, the creator is naturally attractive and coveted. As his energy zings with possibility, you can feel when a creator type enters the room, all eyes land on them. And then it says here, to increase your creator energy, ward off jadedness at all costs, recommit to childlike curiosity and nix rules. Okay. Great. This is great. I like this. I like this a lot. All right. So let's see here. Let's get a crystal / gemstone card. It fell on the floor, so I gotta go get it. What is this? What is this? The watermelon one? Yep. The watermelon tourmaline. So love, balance, and clarity. So it says here, relationships are the currency of life, and watermelon tourmaline raises awareness of soul agreements and your impact on other people's lives. This crystal is supercharged to activate the heart chakra, creating a divine connection between you and your higher self. Like the watermelon, it teaches you to enjoy the sweetness of life. Remembering good things often take time to ripen. Watermelon tourmaline balances masculine and feminine energies, connecting your heart chakra to both the physical and spiritual aspects of yourself. So we have here Gemini, Virgo, Venus, and Saturn. So there goes that air energy again. All right, so we're going to close this off with some how to love yourself cards. So it says here, I affirm that I am totally willing to freely forgive everyone. It says, I release from within me all bitterness and resentment. I let go of old hurts and forgive everyone, including myself. It says here, I am totally in charge of my life now. The moment I say positive affirmations, I step out of the victim role. I am no longer helpless. I acknowledge my own power. And then it also says here, I am centered in truth and peace. The universe is one of great order and peacefulness, and I reflect this in every moment of my life. Okay, so that is all that I have for you all earth signs out there. I hope I was able to help you out in any way, shape, or form. Good luck to you all on your amazing journeys. Until next time, peace.